Can I just do like a vlogging situation? Look at that beautiful snow. Ooh. If you notice me saying or so like a lot, because I will say that a lot, it's just because I haven't been in front of a camera for like 6 months, so bear with me please. And I tried to cut most of them out, but I keep doing it. I don't mean to. I promise I don't mean to. But brace yourself. Hello everyone. I have not posted since August. I don't know, I just feel like I have different interests now, and yeah, I guess it's kind of like a reinvention now, but that's all I kind of wanted to say. So in today's video, that's a wrap on that subject because it's getting boring for me even to talk about, but basically, as a summary is, I didn't post since August. I'm posting again now. Reason unknown. I don't even know. So, new topic. Hi, my name is Sophie, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing my favorite books of all time that I own, because I have a ton of other favorite books that I don't own in my personal library. So these are just the ones that I own, and most of them generally. So yeah, so if you're looking for some book recommendations or are just looking to see me talk about something I'm passionate about, then you've come to the right place. Okay, here's what we're dealing with. Thumbnail. Alright, the first book I want to talk about is Zack and Mia. It is by AJ Betts, and I have the 2013 version, and the cover is really pretty, and it looks very beautiful sitting on my bookshelf. But that's obviously not why I like it. It's a YA book, and it is the romance, contemporary romance, two sick kids fall in love type thing. It's similar to 5 Feet Apart and The Fault in Our Stars, because I've read both of those books, and I would say it's quite similar. And so, if you liked 5 Feet Apart, if you liked The Fault in Our Stars, you'll definitely like this. It's definitely not as sad as The Fault in Our Stars, but it's it's pretty, I would say, moving? I don't know. But here's the summary. The last person Zack expects to meet in the hospital room next door is a girl like Mia. Beautiful, angry, and feisty, with questionable taste in music. In the real world, he can never be friends with a girl like her, but when a knock on the wall leads to a note, it turns into a friendship that surprises them both. Does Mia need Zack? Does Zack need Mia? Or do they both need each other always? Told in alternating perspectives, Zack and Mia is the tough and tender story of 2 ordinary teenagers enduring extraordinary circumstances. So again, it's kind of like Friends to romance type thing, the 2 sick kids in a hospital type trope, whatever. Yeah, I don't know, I really like the characters. I feel that's why I had such an attachment to this book. Mostly because not a lot happens in it. It's not a very plot-oriented book. I would say it's more character-driven. And so I like contemporary romances that are character-driven. I'm a sucker for those. I'll read all of them. But, yeah, I feel like I just really connected with both of the characters, which is strange because they're kind of like opposites in a way. But, yeah, so if you're looking for a contemporary YA romance book, it's a short read. It's only about 270 pages, so it's a quick, easy read. And, yeah, so if you're looking for a fun, lighthearted, contemporary YA romance, you should read Zack and Mia by AJ Betts. Next book, Choker by Elizabeth Woods. This one, it's definitely YA, but it's I wouldn't say romance, definitely not romance, but there are some romance aspects to it. I would probably put it under thriller, because it's a murder mystery thing going on. and there's a huge plot twist at the end. I remember that's what I really liked about it. I kept thinking about it for like days. Huge plot twist, really well written. Here is the summary. 16-year-old Kara Lange has been a loner ever since she moved away from her best and only friend Zoe years ago. She eats lunch with the other girls from the track team and tries to avoid the popular girls who, after an embarrassing incident in the cafeteria, endlessly torture her, calling her choker. But mostly she spends her time watching Ethan Gray from a distance, wishing he would finally notice her. Then one day, Kara comes home to find Zoe waiting for her. Zoe's on the run from problems at home, and Kara agrees to help her hide. With her best friend back, Kara's life changes overnight. Zoe gives her a new look and new confidence, and the next thing she knows, she's getting invited to parties and flirting with Ethan. Best of all, she can talk about everything with her BFF. But just as quickly as Kara's life came together, it starts to unravel. A girl goes missing in her town, and everyone is a suspect, including Ethan. Worse still, Zoe starts behaving strangely, and Kara begins to wonder what exactly her friend does all day while Kara is at school. You're supposed to trust your best friend no matter what, but what if she turns into a total stranger? And, yeah, I feel like it's like a thriller, I would say, definitely a thriller. It's like, it starts off very lighthearted, but it slowly, like, unravels. There's talk, I would say, there's talk of drug addiction and, like, substance abuse. And so I feel like it's like on the more mature side. So I would say like definitely YA. But it's also kind of a short read, like 220 pages, 230 pages. And yeah, the plot twist at the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but it was like really major. So yeah, Choker by Elizabeth Woods. The next book is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It is, okay, it's like a kind of a break from the whole contemporary romance troupe, but I read it once. I was obsessed with FBI profiling, whatnot, because I watched Criminal Minds or whatever, so I was kind of on an FBI profile or Criminal Minds streak kind of thing. So I found this book series. Yeah, it's actually a series. I think there's 5 books. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. This is the first one, The Naturals, and I would say this book, I hold it very dearly. I hold it very close to my heart. It is super interesting. I found like tons of plot twists, and it was really interesting to you know, learn about kind of the FBI world and, you know, all sorts of things like that. It's definitely, again, for the mature side, YA for sure. It's like a lot of talk of murder, you know, that's what they're investigating. But here's a summary. 17-year-old Cassie is a natural at reading people. Piecing together at the tiniest details, she can tell you who you are and what you want. But it's not a skill that she's ever taken seriously. That is, until the FBI comes knocking. They've begun a classified program that uses exceptional teenagers to close infamous cold cases, and they need Cassie's help. Cassie moves across the country to train with a group of teens whose gifts are as unusual as her own and who can be as puzzling as the unsolved homicides they have to work together to crack. Cassie's roommate, Sloane, is better with statistics than she is with people, and human lie detector Leah is as prickly as they come. Brooding Dean shares Cassie's gift for profiling, but keeps her at arm's length. Then there's sarcastic, privileged Michael, who has a knack for reading emotions and uses his skill to get inside Cassie's head and under her skin. No one in the Naturals program is what they seem, and when a new killer strikes close to home, danger creeps closer than Cassie could ever have imagined. Caught in a lethal game of cat and mouse with a murder, the Naturals are going to have to use all of their gifts to survive. So yeah, it's like, I would say thriller, you know, FBI, that's the whole section it falls into. It's definitely on the longer side. It's like 300 something pages. So I would say it took me about like a week or 2 to read it. So still not that long, but you know, it's on the longer side. But yeah, I would recommend. I was honestly hooked. I could not put it down. I stayed up so late reading it, and the minute I finished this one, I wanted to jump to like the next books right away. So yeah, I would recommend, you know, if you're looking for a book series to read, The Naturals is a really great one. Double Identity. Double Identity by Margaret Peterson Haddix. It is, I have no words for this. I know I'm steering down like all of it being thriller like trope here, but this is like, it's like sci-fi slash thriller. It's like both. I don't know if it actually falls into the YA category or not, because it's like not, there's no graphic elements to it, but I would say like the language they use is kind of more on the YA side, so like kind of YA, I guess. I'm not really sure but how to qualify that, but it's definitely a shorter read. It's just about 200, it's just like just 200 pages, and so yeah, it's really good. It's the first like sci-fi novel I read. I read it about like 3 years ago for the first time. And I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna read the summary. As Bethany approaches her 13th birthday, her parents act more oddly than usual. Her mother cries constantly, and her father barely lets Bethany out of his sight. Then one morning, he hustles the entire family into a car, drives across several state lines, and leaves Bethany with an aunt she never knew existed. Bethany has no idea what's going on. She's worried her mom and dad are running from some kind of trouble, but she can't find out because they won't tell her where they are going. Bethany's only clue is a few words she overheard her father tell her aunt. She doesn't know anything about Elizabeth. But Aunt Merle won't tell Bethany who Elizabeth is, and she won't explain why people in her small town react to Bethany as if they've seen a ghost. The mystery intensifies when Bethany gets a package from her father containing 4 different birth certificates from 4 different states with 4 different last names, and thousands of dollars in cash. When a strange man shows up asking questions, Bethany realizes she's not the only one who's desperate to unravel the secrets of her past. It's definitely like one of those, lots of secrets about the past type of thing, and I don't know how to describe it in ways to like not spoil it, but it's really good, and you follow Bethany along as the journey who she discovers who Elizabeth is. She discovers why her parents are like running away and like dropping her off at some random person's house, and it's very compelling. It's like definitely, I wouldn't say it's mystery, I would just say it's like a thriller, but it's like really good, so definitely check it out. Steering more towards the middle grade section now, we have All the Wrong Questions by Lemony Snicket. I don't know where the Dusk Jacket went, so I just have the the naked book cover, but this one is by Lemony Snicket. Lemony Snicket's my all-time favorite author, so I love everything he writes, but yeah, this book, I could not tell you the summary if I wanted to, but basically I'll just give you a summary based off of what I remember. I haven't read this in like a year, so basically it's about Lemony Snicket as a 13-year-old boy, and he's like a part of a secret organization, and he has a chaperone teaching him to like all the things he's supposed to do, and he gets shipped off to like a mysterious island / small town, and it's like set later, like 1990s about. I wouldn't say exactly, I can't pinpoint when it's set, but it's like kind of like in the past set. And he goes on trying to, it's like a mystery, it's definitely mystery, and there's an item that's gone missing. It's very important, and we go on this journey, and Lemony Snicket wants to find out, you know, who stole this item, and his chaperone, who is like in charge of him or whatever, does not. And so yeah, it's kind of like he goes off on his own, he lives on his own, and all that kind of stuff. It's called All the Wrong Questions because he apparently asks all the wrong questions. But it's really good. I did not see half of what was coming at all, and yeah, I would say it's like, it took me about a week to read it. It's like 230 pages, so it's definitely middle grade, but I think it works for older kids too, because it's like there's some like more, I don't know how to put it, it's the vocabulary Lemony Snicket uses is like definitely on the higher reading level side, but it also works for like younger kids, so definitely middle grade, but yeah. Also by Lemony Snicket, we have A Series of Unfortunate Events. I'm just carrying the Slippery Slope just because this one is the one I grabbed. My actual favorite is book 8, Heimlich Hospital. You know, the Hostile Hospital is my favorite book from the whole series. I love the entire series. I think I first read it when I was like 9 or 10. I read the entire series one summer. It took me about 3 months to get through all 13 books. But I reread it a lot, and I have a brother who's currently reading it as well. But it's like my favorite ever. And yeah, A Series of Unfortunate Events. There's a TV show on Netflix. I watched it. It's actually pretty accurate to the books. But he doesn't give, it's like not, there's no summary towards it, but I'll tell you, like, the series, the entire series, the overview, it's like the Baudelaire orphans, their parents die in a fire, but then they realize their parents were a part of a secret organization, like kind of the All the Wrong Questions, that this is kind of like the All the Wrong Question is like a prequel to the series. And so basically the Baudelaire orphans are like stuck in this unlucky chain, and they go placed, or like they're placed guardian through guardian through guardian, and an evil villain named Count Olaf, he's an evil actor, and he is going after them for their enormous fortune so he can be rich or whatever. And so yeah, just he's following them, so it's like a series of unfortunate events, like unfortunate events keep happening to them. And I think it's really good. It's a middle grade, but it definitely works for older kids, just like All the Wrong Questions. And yeah, I would say for reading, the entire series took me about 3 months when I first read it, but it goes, the first book is about 150 pages, but then it goes up from there. Like each book has more and more pages as you go. So yeah, it definitely gets longer. The one I'm holding is The Slippery Slope, and it has about like 320, in the range of 300 through 400 pages about. So yeah, it definitely gets longer as you go, but it's really good, and I definitely think it's worth reading the books before watching the series, but yeah. The Hunger Games. This YA for sure, but we all know what The Hunger Games is. It's just really, really good. I really like it. I read it, what happened, I read the book, and then I watched the movie, and it was like really cool to kind of compare or whatever. But I actually read it quite recently. I read it just a couple months ago, and I just really, really liked it. It's really good. I was hooked, and I've probably read it like 2 more times since then, and it's just, I just really, really like it. I haven't read the other 2, which I probably should. It's on my TBR. I'll probably get to the other 2 soon, but yeah, I don't know what to say. Most people already know what The Hunger Games is, but I just don't feel like it's worth it to give like a whole summary, because everyone knows what The Hunger Games is. But Katniss Everdeen is super cool. She's really cool. And yeah, it's like 372 pages, so like more on the 400 side. And it definitely took me longer, like 2-3 weeks to get through, but definitely worth it. And I have actually like 2 copies of it at home, but it's really good, and I really recommend you read it. The last book I have here is definitely not popular whatsoever. I've never heard anyone talk about it, but I think it deserves to be talked about, because it's really, really well written, and it's a really immersive story. It's called In a Heartbeat. Right here. This is kind of an older cover. I haven't checked what the newer cover is like. It's definitely shorter. It's barely 200 pages, like 180. And yeah, it's like, I don't know how to put it. It's like, okay, I'll just read the summary. When a small mistake costs Egan her life, she leaves many things behind, including her heart, which now lives on in Amelia's body. From Egan's vantage point in her own version of heaven, she relives vivid memories through her still beating heart, and is distressed by her troubled relationship with her mother. Unable to move on without resolving her past, Egan is trapped. Despite her mixed emotions of joy and guilt about her new chance at life, Amelia feels lucky to be alive. But when she begins to take on strange new characteristics, Amelia wonders if her heart donor is trying to tell her something. Is it too late for Amelia to help the girl who saved her life? So it's like 2 points of views. There's one girl, the girl Egan, I forgot her name. Egan, she died in an ice skating incident, and while she was getting her driver's license, she clicked the organ donor box. And so when she dies in this accident, she goes to like heaven and relives her memories or whatever. And so you're seeing her point of view is mostly like reliving memories. And then Amelia's point of view, who she like struggles with heart failure and she's really bad heart. So Egan's heart is donated to her. She has a surgery. All goes well. Except she starts inheriting like Egan's characteristics and all that. And it's kind of strange, kind of weird. But she reconnects with Egan's family and a whole bunch of other crazy things happen. But I think it's a really, really good book. And every time I read it and I like to read it in just one go. I like to sit down like Saturday morning and then I finish around noon. It's kind of short. It's like 100, again, it's like 100, like 90 pages, barely 200. It's like really short. But it's really, really good, and I don't know, I just feel like it should be talked about more often, and so, yeah, in a heartbeat. Very good. So yeah, that was my favorite books. If you actually sat through all that, props to you, because I even got bored at my own rambling, but yeah, thank you for watching to the end of this video, and yeah, those are my favorite books. Comment like book suggestions, because I need new books to read. I'm getting bored. But until next time.